Hello and welcome, or welcome back to 78 Reflections. My name is Patty Elaine, and today I'm very excited to share the Alchemy Spread for Aries 2. So if you're not familiar with the Alchemy Spread, it was inspired by the Temperance card. So if you look at the image on the Temperance card, you can see two cups. And the idea behind the Temperance card is this alchemy between these two energies. So for the purposes of this spread, one of the cups will represent the ruling planet, and the other cup will represent the zodiac sign of the current decan. In the middle, we have the angel who represents the alchemy between these two energies. So that's what we're going to be working with today for Aries 2, which means on one side we have the sun, because the sun is the ruling planet of the Aries 2 decan. On the other side, we have Aries, which we worked with in Aries 1 as well, of course. Now, what's between them is the Minor Arcana card representing Aries 2, which is the Three of Wands. So we are going to take a look at the Major Arcana cards, but before we do, I just want to take a little bit of a dive into the Sun as the planet and Aries. And for this, I'm going to be referencing the Oracle card you see in front of you, the guidebook, and that is called Starcodes, and I will list it in the description box. So for Aries 2, the ruling planet is the Sun, and the Sun represents our core essence, our vitality, ego, and consciousness. It is the life force that fuels us, and when we align with it, we radiate confidence and energy. So this is a time for us to step into our potential, take center stage, let our light shine. The sun's light shines through the teacher, actor, lover, leader, those who use their enthusiasm, warmth, and charisma for the common good. It is time for us to take the center stage. Let the sun's light flow through us, shine, illuminate, and energize our surroundings, and use this to be of service. It is a time to notice what feeds our vitality and work with it. The sunlit moment is an opportunity to let our ego step out of the way. Let the sun's light flow through you, and let spirit do the work. Shine wholeheartedly and share the warmth with friends, family, your community, and the world. Make it an offering. Live your truth and embrace the power of your own light. So that's from the guidebook for the Sun as a planet. And the Major Arcana card we're going to be working with, you're going to be surprised to hear, is the Sun. And it is number 19 of the Major Arcana. So we will just set that aside, and we're going to take a quick look at Aries. So Aries, this is aligning with the current astrology sign, and it is pure, raw, life force, bold, passionate, and ready for action. It's the energy of new beginnings, spontaneity, and courage. This is our call to step forward, cut through hesitation, and trust our instincts. Set clear boundaries just by being alive. Work in powerful bursts. Embrace fresh starts and move with purpose. Like spring awakening after winter, let your inner fire spark new growth. Feel the energy, trust the momentum, and summon the courage to begin. So that's the Aries card from the Starcodes Oracle. And we know this from last decan, that the Emperor is the Major Arcana card representing that. So this is the Alchemy Spread that we're working with today. So we've got on either side we have these different energies. We have the Sun and we have the Emperor. And in the middle, we have what happens when we put these energies together. And I like the way the Starcodes Oracle speaks to the Zodiac sign, in that that is the lens through which we view the energy of the ruling planet. And so we're going to take that approach as we talk about today's alchemy spread. And we're going to start by taking a look at the Sun card in the 3 different decks that I am working with during my Decan Stroll. So let me just take these cards out of the way for now. And we're going to bring in some other cards, starting with this one. So that card is from the Star Tarot. And there's a lot of symbolism in this deck. And I love the guidebook because it really walks us through all of the symbology. So let me take you through it. At the top of the card, the Sun radiates its light with a floral mandala at its center, symbolizing eternal and harmonious nature of divine energy. The Sun's rays represent spiritual renewal and the awakening of life force, connecting to both the solar plexus and the center of personal power and the heart chakra. The seat of love and healing. Below the Sun, the sunflowers represent thriving in the light of the Sun and our ability to flourish. And in the bottom center of the card, we see this deep violet rose, which is the color of the crown chakra and signifies spiritual unfoldment, with a heart at its center representing our healed heart, with the yin and yang symbol reflecting balance and harmony within. The butterfly emerging behind the violet rose is a symbol of transformation and newfound joy and beauty. Then we have, if you look just in the center of the butterfly, a little sun child, and that is embodying innocence, freedom, and the pure expression of the inner child. Bathed in the sun's warmth, they remind us to embrace life with openness, wonder, and limitless potential. Many artists are fond of putting the naked baby on the sun card, as you can see also in the traditional Waite-Smith imagery. So here we have, let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, the sun child. It's this teeny tiny face there. So let's take a look at some very different imagery. And this is Tarot of the Spirit. This guidebook, I will tell you, is something else to process. I have found it to be quite challenging, but I'm going to do my best to give you a high-level summary. So what we see on the image is also naked, but this is a man and a woman that's shown in an act of unity at the altar of lilies that represents purity and spiritual growth. And we have this golden circle around them, which represents their eternal connection, and the alchemic symbol for gold highlights the power of transformation. There's a lot more to that image, but that's about as far as I could go with that one. So let us end our conversation about the sun card with a little zodiac. We once again have a baby. This is our inner child, purity, optimism. The sun itself, the pulsing heart of our solar system, shines with life-giving energy, radiating warmth and symbolizing vitality and growth. The rainbow represents hope, unity, and the connection of all energies in a beautiful arc of energetic harmony. The sun card, there's just no mistaking on how beautiful that card is. If you remember in Aries 1, in that position, we have the Tower card, which I found to be a very challenging card. And I will admit, I did find Aries 1 season to be quite challenging. And if you're following the Fool's journey, it goes from the Tower card, and the next card following it is the Star, which is about quietude and healing. And then we have the shadowiness of the Moon, and after that is the beautiful healing, joyful energy of the Sun that we have in Aries too. So we have that. We're going to touch in on the Emperor, even though we did quite a deep dive in the last one. That is Major Arcana card for Aries. And in the Star Tarot, we have a lot of symbolism once again. The key words are personal power and leadership. And it stresses that the Emperor is the Yang energy, which brings order and structure. The 4, the Emperor, you see it's the 4 in the Major Arcana. That symbolizes a strong foundation. But also you can think of other 4s, like the 4 directions. North, west, east, south, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the 4 phases of the moon. The Emperor empowers us to have structure and also set boundaries, develop ideas, empower ourselves, but also others. His gifts include leadership, stability, self-confidence, fairness, and drive. Now, once again, we have a very different image in this Tarot of the Spirit. And this Emperor teaches us to build a strong foundation like a window pane. He allows us to see clearly, providing both structure and insight. The Emperor remains in control because of his broad vision, but he also has to support and serve his people in order to succeed. The key to true leadership is insight and service. And then we have the Zodiac, which is associated with Aries, of course, about action, life force, and a great capacity for leadership. This Emperor can spring into action and act at the right moment without losing themselves in hesitation. So the Emperor, as a lens through which we filter the energy of the Sun, brings a grounded sense of purpose to the Sun's radiant, expansive energy. He takes the Sun's energy and focuses it, transforming raw potential into tangible outcomes. While the Sun might shine freely, the Emperor gives it direction, purpose, and helps us harness it towards our inner light in a meaningful, long-term way for our goals, to meet our goals, and to achieve success. So let's now turn our attention to the Three of Wands. And there we go. We're going to start with the Waite-Smith. And there's the Star Tarot. So this image is unity of mind, body, and spirit, working in harmony towards new beginnings and opportunities. It symbolizes trust, intuition, and faith. It encourages bold exploration towards your true purpose, embarking on exciting adventures with confidence. And you can see in the Waite-Smith image, we have this Emperor standing on the cliff, looking out to sea, and with his hand on one of the wands, which is holding his, taking hold, taking ownership over his inspiration and his vision. And often people will talk about that card as waiting for his ships to come in. Now with the Tarot of the Spirit, this card speaks of unity and alignment, new beginnings, and the perfect harmony between mind, body, and spirit. Imagine the flow of energy like fire from the sun, or water springing forth, unstoppable, full of potential. There is a sense of newness, a fresh start, like the fresh breath of spring. Last but not least, we go to our Zodiac Tarot. And this is vision. The project becomes clear. So after the spark of inspiration that we receive from the Ace of Wands, the choice that we make in the Two of Wands, we embark in a wild and unknown adventure in the Three of Wands. Here, we're on the threshold, and we have a glimpse of the wonders that await should we have the courage to embark. So let's talk about a synthesis. Let's put it all together. Okay, I got everything lined up now. I think I was able to fit all of the cards on the screen for you. So you can see we have the Sun, which is the ruling planet of the Decan of Aries 2. We have the Sun Major Arcana card stepping in to represent that one. On the other side, we have Aries and the Emperor, the 4 card in the Major Arcana, representing that energy. And then in the middle, we have our 3 of Wands. So let's do a recap of this. We have the Emperor embodying the essence of Aries: authority, structure, strategic leadership. The card signifies the power to establish order and the determination to pursue one's goals with unwavering resolve. Then we have the Sun, bringing forth vitality, clarity, and success. As the ruling celestial body of this decan, it illuminates our path, infusing our endeavors with optimism and a sense of purpose. When these energies converge, we have the 3 of Wands, and that is manifesting the visionary leadership and expansive growth. This card depicts an individual standing at the edge of new opportunities, looking out into the distant horizon, symbolizing foresight and the anticipation of future achievements. The influence of the Emperor in the 3 of Wands is evident in that strategic planning, the structured approach to the expansion. It reflects an ability to set clear goals, establish a solid foundation. The combination suggests that with discipline and authority, one can navigate the path to success effectively. Simultaneously, we have the Sun's energy infusing the 3 of Wands with enthusiasm and confidence. It highlights the joy found in pursuing one's passion and the positive outcomes that arise from embracing one's true purpose. The radiant influence of the Sun encourages us to remain optimistic, open to abundance, hopeful for the future. So how do we navigate the alchemy of these energies? Blending them together rather than trying to separate or pick and choose the energy that is serving us for this season of our life. You know, for me, I think it's about having a vision, but having some strategy behind that vision. And it seems strange to me to say like a strategic vision. For me personally, that seems like a businessy thing. But I think setting clear objectives and having a roadmap to achieve the objectives is crucial in order to actually get there. And then really soaking in the Sun's vitality to bring confidence and positivity, inspiration into the equation. Because making a strategic vision without joy doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. And so if we're able to approach it with the beautiful radiance and warmth of the Sun, then that achieves, I think, both of my goals for 2025 is what would it look like if it was simple, and what would it look like if it was joyful. So I think the Emperor will bring some simplicity and order, whereas the Sun brings that element of joy that I've been yearning for. And I think the alchemy comes with having discipline and structure, but remembering that old cliche, the joy is in the journey, and celebrating progress, remaining open to new experiences that foster growth. And by harmonizing this structure of the Emperor with the illuminating vitality of the Sun, the Three of Wands can help us feel ready to embark on new ventures with confidence and strategy and an open heart, and hopefully also ready to embrace the expansive opportunities that await. So this spread is making me really excited about Aries 2. I'm looking forward to reading and learning and studying more about this Decan, the astrology, the tarot, and I look forward to coming back in 10 days. I will have a new spread for you with the new Decan. So thank you for being here today. Please like the video if you do. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. In addition to the Decan Stroll, I also have coffee and cards that I post regularly, so I'd love to see you there as well. Look forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then.